My guest today is playing the iconic horror movie character Michael Myers in the 2018 Halloween movie. Please welcome James Jude Courtney. Hey James, how are you?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. How are you?
Yes, fine. First of all, I want to know, how did you get the role of Michael Myers?
Well, that was kind of interesting. I had made the decision about 10 years ago to only focus on writing and producing my own films, and so I was, deeply focused on that. And I had really stopped, except for a few instances, being in front of the camera. And so I made a decision that the only time I would get in front of a camera again is when, either my own movies or when a friend called and asked me to work, which I've done a few times stunt-wise. And so Ron Hutchinson, the very talented stunt coordinator who's done a couple of the Halloweens, gave me a call. And he said, "Hey, man, we're doing another Halloween." I was like, "Awesome, man, awesome. Have fun." He goes, "Well, I read the script and I informed Malik and the director, David Green, that the character as it's written and the script as it's written is going to demand someone to play Michael Myers who has very deep acting chops and is also a really good stuntman. And there's not many of those guys around." And they said, "Well, do you know somebody?" And he says, "Yeah, I happen to know somebody. His name is James Courtney." And so he called me and we had a chat, and they sent me down to, I had moved back to South Carolina, where I'm originally from. Was living, in my house, in my living room, and when he called me, and so they said, I went down to Charleston and got in front of a camera for the casting person, and it was a nice long interview, and I didn't even get out of the parking lot, and I got a call from Blumhouse in Los Angeles asking me if I was available for the shoot, and I hadn't even got to the freeway, and they called me back again and said, "Hey, David Green wants to meet you. Can you come back and meet David?" And I was like, yeah, of course. And then they were supposed to shoot in November of last year, and I didn't hear anything. So I was like, okay, somebody else got it. It's all good. I'm focused on what I'm focused on. I got things to do. And then in November, late November, they called me and let me know that I was the guy. And that was it, man. It was meant to be.
Again, can you tell us what is the storyline of this new Halloween movie series?
Well, I really can't tell you. I signed a non-disclosure agreement that's about as thick as my waist. All I can say is it picks up where the first one left off, only 40 years later. And that's really all I can tell you. I mean, I wish I could, but you're going to have to go see the movie, man.
What does the character of Michael Myers mean to you?
I have not intellectualized this character. And, I studied with Stella Adler, who was, the iconic acting coach, who was, Marlon Brando's coach. I've had training from teachers from the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. And, so I'm very steeped in the method, method acting. And, normally when you do a character, you break down everything. I mean, everything has meaning, and everything, and every relationship has a place in your life, and, sense memory and all these. With this character, I didn't do any of that. When I watched the original again before the audition, there was a specific moment where I captured the essence of what Nick Castle had created, or how he had embodied what John Carpenter and Deborah Hill had created. So for me, it was all feeling. It was all creating a space within myself. And if you believe, which I believe, that the universe is one big information field, like everything that has ever been created, everything that has ever been thought, anything that's ever been done exists in the universe, in the information field of the universe. So what I did was I opened up to the information of what Michael Myers was, and how that was informed by the way John Carpenter and Deborah Hill created it, how it was informed by the way Nick Castle played it. And Nick Castle will tell you that he didn't do any preparation. He just did it. Well, Nick Castle is an incredibly intuitive, incredibly creative human being. If you look at his filmography, it's like the dude has done some really amazing stuff. So what I did was embraced that. And it was deep, man. It was really, really deep. But I have so much experience in working on those metaphysical levels that what I would do is breathe into the character when it was time to roll. And then as soon as I'd hear check the gate, which means, whether it's 3 takes or 5 takes or 20 takes, it doesn't matter. And when they say check the gate, you're moving to, to another setup, then I would breathe out and I would allow the character to leave me. I'd become Jim Courtney again. And then we started to roll, half an hour later, whatever, 15 minutes, an hour later, whatever it was. I'd, silently breathe in and allow Michael Myers to awaken within me. And so Michael Myers, that energy dictated everything I did. I was not thinking at all when I was working.
For somebody, a role is a role, but at your point of view, do you think you had something new to the character?
Oh yeah, how could that not be? I mean, the character, the energy, the intelligence, all the things that were created by John Carpenter, Deborah Hill, Nick Castle, and certainly the other guys who played it, between then and now. As soon as I embody the energy of Michael Myers, it's coming through my body. It moves like I move. That my ability as an athlete, as a fighter, as a stuntman, as an actor, all these things are personal. I mean, they're very unique. You and I and everybody else have very unique mannerisms, and so the energy of that, the intelligence of that, had to filter through my body. So of course it's going to be something unique, and to me, and if another guy plays it, if they do another one and another guy plays this role, then the same thing will happen. All the energy will have to go through that person, and it will be filtered through that person, so it will be unique to that human being. So yeah, absolutely. Not from an egotistical point of view, but just from a practical reality point of view. I mean, we're all unique.
In Halloween 2018 movie, you played with Jamie Lee Curtis, who retakes the role of Laurie Strode. How was the experience of working with one of the biggest stars of Hollywood?
Oh, she's amazing. She's amazing. She's bad to the bone, dude. She is, first of all, she's an incredibly grounded, intelligent, kind woman. She's incredibly creative. She does not suffer fools gladly. She is very clear about her parameters and very direct and straightforward. She's self-deprecating. She doesn't take herself too seriously, but she takes her work very, very seriously. Physically, she is an incredible athlete and has no fear. She's an incredible athlete, like on the money athlete. So, her humility is just allows all that to just blossom in front of you, because, she's just not impressed with herself. She's just, she's a regular person who felt as grateful. We talked about this one day walking to the set. She was like, wow, I'm just so grateful to be here. And I'm like, Jamie, I've been living in second to second gratitude as well. I mean, does it get any better than this? And so, yeah, man, definitely working with her is, and I've worked with, some iconic actors before, but working with her was one of the greatest experiences of my life.
Very cool. Next question will be very funny, because in another interview I did with Dan Yeager, who played Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, Dan said to me that play a character who kills a lot of people was the greatest experience of his life. So, are you agree with Dan?
Well, I guess you look at it in very different ways. For me, the experience is again, it's metaphysical. So, it's an out of body experience. Like I sort of step aside when I'm doing that work, and it's another energy that's in there working. It's another personality that's in there working, which is why it's so important for me to be able to breathe it in and breathe it out, because there are people who have done what I've done and had psychotic breaks because it gets so deep. So, I've in so many TV shows and movies, I've killing and fighting, and this is different. This is kind of like I modeled much of the movement of the shape after my cat, Parzival. And, when we look at a cat, if you watch a cat, chase a mouse and kill him, you don't judge a cat for being a cat. That's what a cat does. And a cat doesn't want to kill a mouse and walk away going, dude, that felt awesome. I just killed a mouse. It's more like that's what we do. And so what I did on the movie is what I do as Michael Myers. It's how I live. There's no judgment. There's no thought. And I can't look back at it and go, oh, it felt great to do this and because in totality, the experience was amazing because of the place I got to go to, because of what I got to experience, because of the people I worked with. So, I guess I just approached it from a slightly different place. That's all.
For Jude Courtney, why will this Halloween movie be the best of the series?
Well, it's not for me to say what is the best and what's not the best. What I can say is it's going to be insanely special. And I'm going to tell you why, man, because every single person who worked on that film did it as a labor of love. Almost everybody who worked on that film was at some point in their life motivated by, moved by, inspired by the original Halloween in 1978. And so, David Gordon Green, who's a very, gifted director, Danny McBride, Jeff Reilly, who wrote the script. I mean, Christopher Nelson, beyond talented special effects makeup, I mean, everybody who, Ron Hutchinson, best some coordinators in the business. I mean, everybody who worked on it because it was an honor to be there and they were stoked to be there. And it was, so when you get that kind of love and that kind of talent, I mean, this is A-list talent, like these are Academy Award winning people who are showing up and working for peanuts, to make this film. And so we were all there and all of us said this, at some point to each other is like, dude, this is why I do what I do. This movie, the experience we had making Halloween is why I signed up to be in films. Chris Nelson said that. David Green said that. I mean, there's so many of us who were just like, yeah, man, this is what I signed up for. So that's why it's going to be freaking amazing. You can't have that kind of talent and that kind of enthusiasm and that kind of love and not get something special out of the deal.
In a couple of weeks, the film will be released. For a lot of people like me, we can wait. So, but for you, what's next until the movie was released?
Well, right now it's kind of crazy how many interviews I've done and am doing, and this is only the beginning. Starting with the weekend before the LA premiere, on the 11th, 12th, 13th, I'm doing the Halloween 40th anniversary convention in Pasadena. And my agent and I have chosen to hold me back from any appearances until then. That's going to be the first time I'm going to appear, with, and meet the fans in person. And then after that, I do the LA premiere on the 17th, and then they immediately fly myself and John Carpenter out to Bowling Green, Kentucky, where John Carpenter is from. We're doing a convention and appearance there, and I'll be actually on opening day. I'll be with an audience of fans in the theater watching the movie, and then it's crazy. Like almost every weekend, I'm flying to one place or another to make an appearance and meet the fans. And I mean, there's nothing like this. I mean, this is incredible. The fan base and the interest and the anticipation is just through the roof. And I'm, just so honored to be a part of that, man.
James, thank you for your time. I see the Halloween trailer for the movie in 2018. The trailer is awesome. I think the movie will be awesome too. So thanks a lot for your time again, and hope all the fans love the movie.
I think they will, man. And yeah, I really appreciate your time, and I really appreciate the love and enthusiasm you and all the fans are directing this way. And I think it's going to be well deserved. I look forward to your response after you see the film. Let me know, please.
Thanks again.
Bye,
Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Enjoyed it, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Care,
thanks. Bye.
All right. Bye.